All right, Panther fans, hockey fans, Tampa Bay Lightning fans, and Colorado Avalanche fans. Good morning. And I'm sure for Tampa Bay fans, it's not. It's not. It's just not. Um, what I saw last night, and I know that there will be varying opinions about the whole too many men on the ice thing and all of that. Understood. Understood. But what I saw last night was a team literally run out of gas in the middle of the game. The first two periods went one way, and then the third period came out, and whatever happened in the universe, whatever planetary movements there were between the second and the third period, it's like the Avalanche got shots of adrenaline in the locker room, and like the Lightning spent the second period drinking beer, forgetting that the game wasn't over. It was that much of a disparity. Tampa just did not literally have the legs. I mean, I'm watching like 3-4 guys coasting at a time, just hoping that the one-on-one guy would make a play or Vasilevsky would make the stop. It was they've played a lot of hockey. So
yeah,
how you doing?
That's
Stu?
what happened. That's what happened to the Islanders on that their fifth in a row trip to the finals.
Right.
And this was the Oiler team that was young, and Gretzky and Messier and all of those guys.
Right.
And the Islanders had just run out of steam. They had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
And especially nowadays, you don't really hear that the guy's got a bruised ankle. They just say lower body injury.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
we kind of sort of know what the injury is. But
right.
Yeah. Stamkos made a comment about the fact that there's a lot of guys on both sides that are playing, through injuries. I mean, that's what hockey players do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can, I mean, we know they already got no Braden Point. Nick Paul is out there. He can't take a long stride to save his life. Like all of his strides are like these short little choppy strides. He's nowhere near close to himself. And then they had to play half of the second, all of the third, and overtime. Chernak was out. So they were by like midway through the third period, Sergachev had already had 30 minutes on ice.
32 minutes and change he had last night.
I mean, that's
too much.
That's too much. You can't win eventually. And that's what Colorado did, is they just kept coming in waves, just like the Panthers did before they didn't. That's a different subject. But
in fact, Sergachev made a comment in the post game about how that last goal's on him, because he kind of sort of admitted that he had no more gas in the tank. And Kadri hadn't played in so many games. He was fresh, and
that's a good point.
He kind of blew by him, but that shot was
it was perfectly placed. I mean,
so Sergachev has come up with an expression that I never heard before, where we talk about that, that place above. He called it the chicken wing.
The chicken wing. Yeah, the chicken wing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's it. That's the only move they've got. A goaltender's got to try to stop that shot.
The shot. It reminded me of the Patrick Kane goal that won the cup for the Blackhawks against Philly. That nobody saw go in except Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
These guys. That's why when there's a disputed goal, I'd say 95% of the time, the players on the ice that are looking at it, they know if the player that scores it knows whether it's gone in or not.
No, I'm just realizing I don't have my glass of water.
Somebody on the live stream I saw they predicted. But somebody predicted Kadri was going to get the winning goal.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. I didn't realize until last minute that he was even in. And that obviously was a boost. And look, not taking anything away from Colorado. I mean, they played. For you Avalanche fans that are watching what your team is doing, you've been watching it all year. Panthers watched our team do that to everybody all year long until Tampa, and it was just kaputs off a cliff. Which Anyway, so I'm gonna
Well,
I'm gonna
I'm
go
gonna
off
offer
on a
my, I'm
coaching
gonna
rant,
offer
but I'm gonna save that.
I'm gonna offer my humble apologies to the Avalanche fans that watch this. Um, and again, I never disrespected Colorado. I always called them a great team, but just based on what I was seeing with Tampa and the fact that Vasilevsky
Right.
was just playing out of his mind, I didn't
Yeah.
think, not that I didn't think Colorado had a chance. I just thought Tampa would be better. And Vasilevsky, I'm sorry to say, is not playing, and I don't know why, but he's not playing like his usual lights out self. He's getting beat by goals that.
Well, that's coaching. I mean, Colorado purposefully is placing those shots in those areas. Now, the couple of goals that they got yesterday, I mean, the one goes off McKinnon's skate. I mean, he's not even skating. I mean, he's just trying to go through the crease. I don't even know if he realized the puck was there. It just got ricocheted off of him.
Yeah,
And
I mean, they're getting puck luck too. So
right, and then
maybe
the Strom shot.
They're the team of destiny this year.
Yeah. The Strom shot, Vasilevsky makes the save, just like game one, pinballs right back to Strom, who purposefully, it sure looked like he did it on purpose, because he either misshot the puck or he purposely puts it off of Cogliano and in. And I mean, when goals like that go in, you kind of start to know, like you said, destiny. It's like, I think these guys are going to win. And,
Oh yeah.
And Tampa just, they have not been able to keep up. They just haven't been able to keep up. Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see them going back home.
Oh no.
With a chance to close it out in front of their home crowd,
right.
With the altitude, blah blah blah.
Right.
They don't want to go back to Tampa, so I'm thinking it's balls to the walls for Colorado, and
yeah.
it's just a question of is it going to be a good game? Is it going to be a wipeout?
I have
Kemper has stepped up.
Yeah,
he came back strong last night. That was good to see.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, the bottom line is Tampa's had a great run, win or lose.
Right.
And they can hold their head up.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And look, sorry guys, I forgot my water this morning. Tampa's not going to be done. You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't look like they're winning it this year. But this is not a situation like a Montreal or even an Islanders where you would, they're going to fall off a cliff or something like that. They'll be back. They'll be reloaded. They've played a lot of hockey. They've got to get, I've said this for a little while now, Tampa's got to get a viable backup goaltender. You're going to blow through Vasilevsky. I know he's young and he's still playing well and he's got the stats and everything, but you've got to have a guy that when Vasilevsky really should take a night off, you can throw into the game, throw into a start and give you quality minutes. And for a couple of years, Tampa just like completely ignoring that position. They may as well have you and I at backup for the guys that they've had.
I know a certain goalie whose wife likes the sunshine.
Oh, here we go. Stu's and hey, in Tampa can they afford the $5 million? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Like Bob says, the only way I'm waving is if I go to Tampa, right? Jeez, that would be funny. That's you want to talk about the Panthers fan base. I almost want that to happen just to see Twitter's reaction. That would be epic. Oh man. So yeah, Tampa will be back. And Colorado. Look,
listen, the series is not over. Anything can happen. I think we as hockey fans realize that not too many, if any, teams come back from 3-1 down.
Right.
Especially, going home. But yeah, Tampa always is at the top every year.
Right.
I don't know how they do it. Great trades, great signings, great drafting. They just got a really good organization.
Yeah.
But enough about Tampa.
Right. No, Colorado,
I know we did the video yesterday about Maurice and I was, watching, I'm just looking at tweets this morning about people's reactions to the signing.
Right, right.
And, of course, I've made my feelings known that I would have liked to have been Trotz. Now, somebody made a comment about Trotz still being available. And like, why is that?
Well, there's two schools
So-
of thought there. The guys I've been watching that do the Winnipeg videos, they believe that the only question is it's not where he's going, it's if. So if they believe if he coaches, it'll be Winnipeg, but they're not sure. Trotz isn't what they're hearing is Trotz still hasn't made the decision that he even wants to coach. So
But at this point in time, with all of these, not all, but most of these guys, they're making a few $1 million a year to coach. I mean,
Right.
what was Quenneville's contract? $6 million a year.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
So, what is Maurice's contract going to be? 4, 5? I mean, they're getting, ridiculous money, but they, hockey players are not extravagant. They don't buy bling. They don't buy 4 or 5, Ferraris and 6 houses and, go to the strip club and throw $50,000 down. They're pretty good with their money unless they get ripped off by one of, financial advisors. We've seen that happen over the years.
Right.
But, if you're smart with your money, and, your guy like Maurice is 55 now. I mean, guys that are in their 50s and shit, they don't really have to work. They do it because they love the game.
Right.
But it's going to be interesting to see what system Maurice puts in place.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, not really knowing the guy over the years. I mean, he's been in coaching 24 years, I think. I don't know if he's defensive minded, offensive minded. The bottom line is we got a lot of talented players, and we got a lot of talented players that need to be coached better.
Yeah, and that's
Case in point, Matheson.
Right.
You always made that point about
Right.
If he has the right coach to pull out the talent that he has.
Right.
Again, I didn't really watch Pittsburgh that much last year, but I think we would have heard if he was just as bad as he was with us.
Right.
And that doesn't seem to be the case. So.
No, he definitely improved. He's definitely being coached differently. And the other thing I heard, there's a lot of people speculating that this kind of happened because Brunette actually wanted like more of a management position and he doesn't want a full-time coach.
Is that right?
Yeah, I mean that's what they're alluding to, because in his year-end press conference he did talk about how he had to talk it over with his wife and the family and see if if everybody was on board with it, because it's a grind, and if you're going to take the job, you're not just taking it for a year. You gotta really want to do that job. You know what I mean? And,
yeah, it's your life.
Right.
24/7.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll find out what's going to happen. I don't know what kind of management position the Panthers really have. I mean, I don't know, a special assistant to Vice President Randy Moeller. I don't know. I'm making shit up now. So that remains to be seen. If he gets elevated up into management, that might tell us that he didn't, really want to be coaching full time. And he seems like the kind of guy that might be honest about that, right? The Panthers, though, they're so. Did we even have a press conference? We haven't had a press conference with Maurice yet, right? So
today
is it supposed to be today? Okay,
yeah.
So that's it. It would be. Hopefully, we hear something about Brunette's future inside of or around the press conference, because Brunette might know what's going on, but the fan base is just kind of, we're just kind of out here in the winds and the breeze going, so what is going on, and there's a lot of different opinions and discontent on Twitter. And from what I saw on Facebook too. So the fan base is a little bit, it was a little bit of a heavier reaction against it than I thought was going to come. I think watching how everybody else has played Tampa, and then how the Panthers played Tampa. Yes, the players have responsibility there, but clearly we were abysmally outcoached, like bad.
Well, it's just out coaching. Yes. My problem with Burnett was he had plenty of time to review tape and make adjustments.
Right.
The fact that he kept going with the same power play unit when it got to 0-12,
Yeah.
nothing was done.
Right.
Insanity.
Right.
Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Right.
Something should have been done, and he didn't do it.
Right.
Same thing with with his line combos. Obviously, it didn't look like there was such great chemistry between Barkov and Giroux, and that's why we got Giroux. I think was to play on the line with Bar. Something where whatever the adjustments or changes that should have been made,
Right.
they weren't made.
Right. Right.
And that's what a coach does.
Yeah. Right.
Quenneville would have no qualms about, totally jumbling up lines if they were doing nothing in a game.
Right.
So Maurice is going to be the first veteran, quote unquote veteran coach that we've had other than Quenneville in a long time. Deneen, Gallant, Bugner.
Yeah.
I don't even want to mention the guys whose name we never mentioned.
Yeah, we won't mention him.
that caused so much grief for us. But we took shots with all these quote unquote rookie guys, and
Right.
we're finally going to have somebody. And it's a wait and see. Let's see what he does. The main thing for me is who's going to be on this team.
Right.
So that's Zito.
Yep.
What is he going to do? How is he going to keep the players that we want on this team? How is he going to keep everybody? So that's more of a question mark for me than the coaching.
Right.
So we'll see if he, see how many more rabbits he can pull out of his hat.
Yeah. Well, like we've said, at least one person's leaving, at least one. And it's the math is tough. The math is tough to try to keep out of Bobrovsky, Weegar, and Giroux. The math is really tough to keep two of those guys.
And Sherratt, and Mammon, and Marchment, and Knight, and Huberdeau. I mean, you got to put all of those guys in the mix.
Right. Well, yeah, I know. So that remains to be seen. But
I wouldn't want to be him now and his staff trying to play with the money and, like if we give this guy 5 and then, we give this guy 8 and we give this guy 3. I mean, it's like any way you look at the numbers, they don't add up.
No, you don't. Unless you've just, unless you've made up your mind that Giroux and Sherratt aren't re-signing and you want to keep Weegar and you're going to let Bob go. I mean, those
again,
numbers...
you got 3 players alone. Bob's getting 10. Barkov's getting 10. Ekblad's getting 7.5.
Right, and Huberdeau's going to get 10.
All right, well, just those 3 guys.
Yeah.
That's almost $30,000 out of 82.
Right. Yeah. No, I know. And then you factor in Huberdeau,
and you're right.
Half,
and Huberdeau, as much as we are disgusted with him and, the fact that I don't want to use the word choke. I just want to say didn't live up to what our expectations of him were, considering the last, couple of years, how disappointed he was when we lost.
Yeah, something
that we're going to trade him. Well, I don't see that happening.
No, we talked about this a little bit on the stream last night.
He's gonna get his 10 million, and the Bob situation in a perfect world, I would say not more than 2 seasons, because then I think it will be 5 seasons out of 7.
Right.
And then you hand it over to Knight. And so
yeah, I don't.
They got to find a way. They got to find a way. And like you said, a bridge deal would make perfect sense.
Right.
So I hope they can get him done, and we don't have to worry about that. As far as some of the other players, again, I made my feelings known. I want Hornquist, and not so much for his playing ability right now, but I still think he's definitely a stabilizing force in that locker room.
Yeah.
Again, he might not be, he might not have the C on his jersey, but I consider him more of a leader, a captain, than I do Barkov.
Sure. Yeah, it's not even close. Yeah, we've talked.
And you guys comment on that. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if there's a penalty or something that Hornquist is not in the face of the officials. Have you ever seen Barkov mixing it up with the refs after they've blown a call? Have you ever seen like any emotion challenging something?
Every once in a while, he gets a fist bump.
It's always somebody else that's out there. No, I've never seen it. It's always somebody out there besides Barkov. And I love Barkov. It's a great play. I think maybe it's too much. Maybe, it's like, they took the C away from Dustin Brown and gave it to Kopitar.
Right.
And Brown, just continue to play.
Well, we've got
Clark Gillies was the captain of the Islanders, and he gave up the C and gave it to Potvin. I mean, certain players are not cut out to be the captain of the team. So maybe you make Barkov an A, and maybe, this is all like hypothetical because I don't think it's happening, but maybe you make Ekblad the captain. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just take that pressure. There's definitely pressure in being captain of the team.
Yeah, no doubt.
Some guys embrace it, and some guys don't.
Right.
I mean, Ovechkin, Stamkos, McDavid, Crosby. Those guys are captains, and they know their responsibility as captain. So anyway, enough of me on my soapbox.
All right. So we've got hockey.
Hey, dude, we're running out of hockey's almost over.
Yeah.
As far as games go, I can't believe that season is just about almost over.
Yeah, most likely just the one more.
No, I don't really give a crap about the draft, considering the fact that we really don't have a lot of draft picks, but I don't even know, one prospect. Usually you hear about this guy, you hear about that guy, the next phenom, and I don't know who's in this draft this year that is a standout player.
Right.
Oh, one thing I want to mention before I forget. How come we couldn't go to Europe and find? I either texted you or I tweeted it or something. I don't know. I sent somebody something about. There are probably outstanding coaches in Finland, Sweden, Russia, whatever. Why couldn't we find a guy that's been around? Is it the language thing or what? Why couldn't we get a dynamite coach? I mean, it's a moot point, but right. I'm just bringing it up as think about it.
For a while,
when was the last time? Have you heard of any NHL team that's gone out and actually signed a Russian coach or a Finnish coach? No. Not
that I can. But
something to think about.
Right. I'm sure somebody in the comments might remember it. I don't.
Yeah. Okay.
I know that there was a couple of days where people were talking about there's an Olympic coach that the Panthers were interested in, but I didn't really hear. I think it was either Colby or George wrote an article about it. So I mean the interest must have been real, but we got Maurice, and that's who we got. And
Well, after
just
this season's over and we get back to, talking about the Panthers and next year, I'd still like to do, we'll do that Q&A.
yeah,
And I really want to get people involved, and we can really have that serious discussion about the chess pieces and, who we should keep, who we should let go. And, I don't want to just start dumping players for draft picks. You know what I mean?
right. No,
And
no.
to me, that's just a waste.
No, we our days for having to do that or with Zito.
Anyway,
just saying with Zito in charge. The days of having to really this should be the last year we have to worry about giving up assets to get us out of bad contracts. We're still dealing with the Yandel hit. So
man, but the Yandel thing is, it's 5.4 million, a substantial amount of money.
right. That's
But
crazy.
but it's still just, just one player.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
So once that's done, it's done.
But at least we have a lot of guys on club friendly contracts.
Right.
How many guys Duclair and I don't remember. I don't know. I think for Hayes getting 5, but we have at least 3. I think Forsling. I think we got like 3 or 4 guys on contracts between 3 and 4 million.
Right.
So in that regard, Zito did a great job. So
yep, he's going to have
right now is how does he juggle the money and we get to keep Giroux and Sherratt and and then as much as I like the guy, I might just have to bite the bullet and say, you know what, we can't afford Hornquist. He's one of those. He's an older player and whatnot, and I don't know. I'm just got a lot of wheels are turning in my head right now, thinking about this dilemma that Zito has, and it is a dilemma.
Yeah, I wouldn't want his job.
And we might not get. I might not get my wishes. And a lot of fans might not get what they want. And in a perfect world, we'd be able to sign everybody, but that's not a perfect world.
Nope.
We're playing under the NHL cap restraints. So
right. So
anyway.
all right. We got hockey probably just one more time tomorrow. Probably gonna have a couple of videos out over the next couple of days, and talking with some other fans about the coaching thing. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have somebody from Winnipeg or not. Haven't heard back, so we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to get their opinion on Paul Maurice, so we'll see if that works out. Other than that, appreciate all the support. Again, tomorrow, 1 hour before the live stream, because it's most likely the last game, we're probably going to be giving away more than a couple of things. And then once the season is over, there will be a unclaimed prize live stream, because I have prizes that people have won that haven't contacted me. So after about 3 or 4 days after the season, there will be an unclaimed prize live stream. That will be questions that have nothing to do with hockey. All shit I made up in my head with subjective answers that only I know the answers to. So that's going to be fun. All right, guys. We appreciate all the support. Like, share, subscribe. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys again later. And then Stu and I will be back Saturday morning, probably to wrap this whole thing up.